All right. Our household has had the same child get the stomach bug twice this season. And I know it's ramping up. I know a lot of people have been hit with stomach bug, the flu. It's going around, everyone. It's going around. What I wanted to share was the importance of keeping certain things on hand in your home. Just between, obviously, you can have a medicine cabinet full of the basics, your Tylenol, your Motrin, Benadryl, or what have you, for both adults and children in case you need them. I'm going to go the opposite direction, and I'm going to encourage everyone to keep certain things in their home, like ginger, lemon, peppermint, and dried chamomile. And the reason for that is if you or your child or anyone who's in your home at that time ends up coming down with the stomach bug, it'll allow you to make certain things that will help get that person through that process. It's a virus, we kind of have to let it run its course, and under a healthy individual or child. However, you just create what you can with it. I made a ginger syrup today. Figured I can add it to teas, I can add it to seltzer for ginger ale, just having something on hand so that if it happens to travel through the rest of us, we're prepared. So I'll show you. Made a little bit of a ginger syrup here. Here's fresh ginger, and I have some lemon. So I basically just took probably about three 1-inch sections of ginger. I smashed them up, threw them in a pot with some water, boiled it down. Once it boiled down a little bit, it became very aromatic. The whole house kind of smelled like ginger. I took the whole ginger pieces out with some of that water and threw it in a blender. Threw that back in the pot, added more water, and waited for that to reduce down by 2/3. So left with about 1/3 of the fluid left in the pot. From there, I added some raw honey. I want to say maybe about a 1/4 cup. Thicken it really nicely and give it a nice sweet flavor. And then let that just simmer down a little bit more until it got pretty thick, and poured it and strained it into my mason jar. I'm actually testing out something where with the pretty much pulp of the ginger, I have that on a wax paper in the refrigerator for potentially like a ginger chew or paste that you can add to whatever. There's still honey in that as well. So, and I added some echinacea actually to that. So that is in my fridge. Not quite set yet, but it's there. So just a word of advice, keep certain things on hand in your home. Another thing that I will encourage is some type of electrolyte in your home for you and your children. Stomach bugs, risk of dehydration. No one wants to eat when they're vomiting or they have profuse diarrhea. And for some individuals, it can be hard to keep up with staying hydrated. I mean, in most cases, as soon as something goes down the hatch, it's coming right back up. So whatever you can keep down, you want it to be, ideally, at least I believe, you want it to be something that's going to keep you, as hydrated as possible and prevent any type of electrolyte deficiency. So I always keep an electrolyte powder on hand in my home. Normally, I use Just Ingredients, their electrolyte powder, but we ran out, and I found I found a box of Gatorade Zero packets there. Not my most ideal form of electrolytes, especially if I'm giving it to my kids because they do tend to have dyes in them. However, in this case, something's better than nothing. So I heavily diluted that, threw in some echinacea, threw in a little bit of this ginger syrup, and she's been sipping on that. There's nothing worse as a parent than seeing your kid sick and someone, especially a child who has normally a great appetite, not want to eat anything or just be completely turned off to food. Another thing I'll encourage everyone, keep some type of broth in your home. Vegetable broth, chicken broth, beef broth, something. It can be something you buy from the store or something you can make for yourself and throw in your freezer. Broths are great ways to get in a little bit of nutrients and also to stay hydrated. And for some people like myself, there are moments where you can only drink so much electrolytes and you want something savory. A broth will kind of do that for you. And you can throw in some type of pasta. if you wanted for something like plain. So some pastina, if you can find like an alphabet pasta to kind of entertain your child as well while they're not feeling well, throw that in there. You can throw some herbs in there that are gentle. Parsley I had in, so I threw that in for her. Broth with noodles. Crackers. I mean, saltine crackers are a great thing as well. Keep that in your cabinet. And just some citrus that you can squeeze into your tea. So yeah, just some words of advice, some suggestions. We're hanging in strong. She's feeling much better. Just hurts my heart a bit to see her on her second bout of a stomach bug. And this one was more severe than the last one. The last one, I think she just had just a couple episodes of vomiting. This was from the top and the bottom, and from the top multiple times. I think I'm on my third load of laundry, and I think I still probably have 3 more to do, because once one kid is sick, I get everything clean. So I'm in the middle of doing all of that as well. I also will burn some sage in the rooms. Great way to kind of air out and cleanse the air. So I ended up shutting off my heat for a little while, just because, one, electric bills are expensive, so I'm not going to open up windows in the middle of the winter time and have my heat going out the window. But I shut the heat off for a little while, cracked the window, and shut the door. Got her out of the room, and burnt some sage to help clear out that room. There are many uses for burning white sage, and most people are common with the spiritual aspect and the energetic cleansing of sage, but it can also be very good for cleansing during illness. So I threw that in there. I'm glad she's feeling better. I'm going to do a few more things, probably make her a little bit of tea with some chamomile and peppermint, and hopefully she starts to feel better. So figured I'd share that tidbit of information with you guys.